Do you know what your partner's up to when you're away and they're all alone?
No, what?
They're listening to the Screw podcast, of course.
What's that?
Sit back, relax, and listen.
So you're an orgasm addict. You're an orgasm addict. Sneaking in the back door with dirty magazines. So your mother wants to know what all the stains on your jeans. And you're an orgasm addict.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, it's like 95 degrees in the house, you know?
Yeah. We're in like a constant game of like, there's like an overcompensation with like the air conditioning, like where it's so cold at some point in the night, but like you adjust it. I don't know. There's no good.
There's no sweet spot. I understand
There's
entirely.
no sweet spot. That's
Yeah.
exactly it. And I'm so used to being able to find one, but like, when
You
it's
might need
100.
silk sheets. Sometimes that's the determining factor, because I use silk sheets and it stays chilly. And even after you turn off the AC, you're still left in like a cold blankie for a little bit.
That's not a bad idea.
You can try it at least, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I will.
I mean,
Anyway. I mean, I haven't slept on those since I was like young.
I mean, I'd be falling right the fuck off. I'd be sliding off the bed like I'm
Yeah,
a fucking
because the pillows slide off too, don't they?
That's
Like-
terrible. But if you put cotton pillowcases, I don't know. It's a whole fucking thing. It's a
We
whole
can
thing.
like start whenever you're ready, by the way.
Oh,
I
You're listening to the Screw Podcast with Felicia Rose and ALove. Thanks for tuning in. This week's special, we're going to be talking about how I slip off with my silk sheets like a baby coming out of a birth canal. How are you doing?
I love that. That's you found that fast. Like,
Yeah.
that analogy like really fast.
Well, anytime I think of something slipping out,
Yeah.
that's almost like the first thing I think of is just like a baby like flying out of the womb, like it's just
Yeah.
extra
Like
ready and large. and,
like those t-shirt like
yeah,
guns
like a
that shoot
cannon,
the
a t-shirt cannon. Yep, exactly. But with a lot of wetness, just like,
Yeah.
very
Uh,
alien, So how have you been?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Weird. I don't
Can
know.
you-
I've been good.
Are you okay over there?
I love it. We're smoking all this old vaporizer. We're probably like
We're smoking plastic. Like, let's
I
be
have
for
a friend
fucking
that
real.
says like, oh, you're smoking the cartridge at this point. But
Yeah, exactly what I'm smoking.
fuck
If
it.
it's still giving me
But,
fucking
like battery. You're smoking battery.
yeah, we're smoking battery. Fuck yeah. Well, something's gonna get us high, so
Right. Oh.
we're too poor to buy weed, so we're smoking battery. Both of us. I like how we're both poor at the same time. We're both like,
I know.
so did
Where
you eat today? Nah, I think tomorrow might be the day though. It's like-
Tomorrow might be the day. Sneaky
my
son of a-
roommate accidentally bought wheat pasta, so I'm gonna use a little bit of that tonight.
Oh.
No, I'm kidding. That's a lie. I would never. I'd rather be hungry. Thanks. Just eat cardboard. What the fuck is that? God, ain't no sauce in the world gonna cover up wheat pasta. Ugh.
I know. It's such a it's a weird time where like so many things are so expensive on top of nobody having any money in the world.
Yeah, it's
Where you're,
wonderful.
Like
So fun.
Wow.
There's
Inflation is
so
real.
many things. What I will say, because we could talk about this for 8 years, but my funniest, maybe let's just say like our funniest thing that we've noticed. The
Okay.
funniest thing that I've noticed is there's so many advertisements now for states. Advertisements everywhere, like come to Connecticut, please give us your
Yeah.
fucking travel dollars because
True.
nobody's visiting anymore because nobody can go on vacation. It's like there's so many states being advertised on TV and commercials, and then I'm literally seeing billboards of them down the highway. What an interesting
Fascinating.
idea that we're that much into a recession that states are literally begging for people to travel to them at this point because there's like no
Yeah.
income happening. It's so interesting.
The trend that I'm noticing is countries that are like offering like fast track work
Yes.
visas for people from the United
Ireland,
States.
Italy.
It's like if you want to get the
Yeah.
hell out of that fucking burning
Yeah.
shithole you all are
They're like,
living
we
in.
will give you a piece of land for free. You just need to come over and become a citizen. And we're going to waive the fact that we
Yeah,
need you to be bilingual. We don't care anymore. Just come over.
yeah.
I'm like, really? Okay.
Well, you know what's interesting is like it's certainly happening in a lot of places that are like having like declining birth rates and like aging
Hmm.
populations, right? So like old Europe, Portugal, Spain, a lot of these places are having like a crisis of like we need young, healthy people here for multiple
I think they'll take
reasons.
anybody actually at this point. They're just
Well,
like,
that's
please
true.
just come and like buy our land and spend your dollars here because
Yeah,
nobody else
no,
is doing it.
for
And,
sure, for
it makes
sure.
sense. There's so many better places to live than a lot
It's
of the
true.
places that are being advertised. But also, there's so many better places to live than where we are. So it's one of those things where it's like, this is getting more tempting by the day, you know?
Oh, no kidding. I mean, and that's the thing, right? Like on some level, like, the United States is having like some epic crises with so many things, but like um it's also a perfect opportunity for like migration to other states and like seeking like cheaper and more like either safer or whatever your situation is. Like
I think
it's a
it's
good.
really cute that at least once a podcast, you try to subtly convince me to move to New Mexico.
Of
I
course.
really love
I love
that.
that you knew exactly where I was
You're like, there's
going.
other opportunities for
We
other
could
places to
start an empire
live.
here. Shit,
Listen,
Betty.
I
You
am
saw
very
right through
close.
me.
I mean, part of me it's a love hate thing. When I'm out and about and I'm enjoying like New York as a New Yorker,
Of
not as like
course.
a tourist. Even the tourist stuff is sometimes
Yeah,
fun, but like when I'm really enjoying being a New Yorker, utilizing the things that make New York special, I'm
100%.
like, how could I live anywhere else? And then
No,
all the
I
in
agree.
between times, I'm like, how do I live here?
No,
It's
no, no,
so
I agree.
interesting.
That's why ideally, like once I'm done out here, it's also like we need a place in New York. Like
Mm,
I will never not be connected to New York. I know that
yeah,
sounded super pretentious. The hope is that I'll be able to afford two places. But like the reality is like I'm never gonna own property in New York City, like unless I become like super wealthy. And it's very easy to own property here on some
right,
level,
right. No, for
if
sure.
and there's a lot of like things in this state to help you purchase property.
Right,
There's
because New Mexico is dying for it's almost like
yeah,
a
it
the
also
country
wants
is being
people.
like,
Yeah,
please move
yeah,
to us. Yeah.
exactly. And I in many ways I think it's great. I see like a lot of opportunity in places like that. Not just, New Mexico, but like there are plenty of places where, opportunities that aren't afforded in the big cities. And I get it. It's like a give and take. But, like I miss like having like the ability to find like specs like around every block. No doubt. That's a New York miss. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh,
That
for sure.
that ability to see somebody on like the subway and like know that you could possibly be sucking their dick in the next 30 minutes, like if they give you the right like nod. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
New York has a lot of great like things to it, but I do love like New York sexuality. I'm gonna start giving cities like a sexuality profile. I like New York sexuality. The-
Yeah. Yeah, I think New York has the ability like you can make any day sexy in New
right.
York. Like
Yeah.
I was walking home from a bar one time in New York from it was like a Halloween thing. And I was like, I didn't pick up anybody. And then like there was a kid on the corner that heard me and it was like, oh, you didn't? And I was like, yeah, what's up? And he was like, nothing, what's up with you? I was like, my apartment's right there. And I pointed up to my apartment. I was like, you want to come back with me? And he did. And like, you don't
Beautiful.
get those opportunities in New
Yeah.
York, I mean, in other
Outside of,
places.
yeah, you
Some of
don't.
them, yeah, but like there
But
is an
not even
energy
like
here.
sure you do. And like I'll tell you, like San Francisco is one of the sluttiest cities I've ever
See, I've
visited for
never
many
been, so
reasons.
I have no
Yeah.
idea. Yeah.
But like LA, I know there's a bunch of sluts there too. And I'm saying this all in
I
like
feel
an
like you have to be
affirming
so
way.
pretty in LA though. Ugh,
You
I don't got
do.
time for all
And
that.
because people don't rely on public transportation like in the same way as like New York. There's and like San Francisco is a very walkable city, right? Well, minus the hills, but I mean like people are out walking. So like you see it. LA to me is not a walkable city. It's a car city. It's a place that you go from one destination to the next in your car. And like maybe you go to some like West Hollywood, pretentious, whatever. But you're right. You have to look a certain way. Everybody there, whether they're like fucking 30 or 50, has had something injected into something.
Right,
And it's
right.
not and it's obvious. I always want to tell these LA dudes at least, like, you look like a plastic doll and you're not
Yeah.
even 35. It's ridiculous.
Everybody has
Just
the same
leave your fucking
face.
body alone.
Yeah.
They
Whereas in New York,
do.
nobody has like I feel like a lot of times I'll get like tons of like Botox advertisements because
Uh,
those places don't do well here because people
no.
like we're just trying to survive the subway. We're not trying to fucking worry about our
Right.
wrinkles. Calm down, you know. Also,
Exactly.
like I'm not gonna lie, being a woman out here, sometimes it's better off to be a little bit more haggard and rough around the edges because in a way, like it wards people from off from bothering you, you
Bothering you.
know?
Oh,
Like in a way, it's almost
interesting.
like you harden yourself so that the city ignores you more, you know?
That,
It's true. And like and
that's a
I'm not
very
saying
interesting
even
take.
for people that haven't had that many, it's like there's so many people and I'm not saying that you're always going to get hit on here or anything like that. I'm just saying like there's so many people so you up your chances of
Yeah.
interaction, whether it's a guy hitting on you, getting catcalled, on
True.
on your way to work, whatever it is. So
True.
at the end of the day, like you're going to have more of those experiences typically, and the more like rough you look, the better off you are. People aren't trying to fuck with somebody that looks a little like, I mean, maybe they are, right? But more often than not, they're if they're catcalling you and stuff, it's not because you look tired and sullen. Like it's, you know what I
Well,
mean?
no, no, no.
They're
I think
catcalling the chick that moved here 3 months ago from Ohio that still has stars in her eyes and hope in her soul, you know? The rest of
so
us, they're leaving alone because they know that we're downtrodden. We're all set. Please don't
no,
fuck
no,
with us.
no.
I will spray you.
It's actually a great point, and I still talk about it, especially like when you live in cities or rough cities. When I used to like when I was younger and lived in downtown Springfield, everybody used to say, "Hey, just like go out looking like a little haggard, wear a tank top, don't look like you
Yeah.
have money." Like there's certain times even in Albuquerque where I'm like, I'm going to wear jogging pants and look like I have not a dime in my pocket
Yeah.
because if
Better
I
off
dress,
that way.
yeah, you never know. I mean, like,
Yeah, so
look,
that's why New Yorkers don't have that Botox look because we're like, no, we're all set, you
no,
know.
yeah,
Maybe Manhattanites do and I don't notice it, but like I don't spend a lot of time in Manhattan, so who the fuck knows?
yeah. What is there to do in Manhattan these days, really? No. I mean, I'm sure
And money
something.
that nobody has. That's the answer.
Exactly. The restaurants are more expensive. The activities are more expensive. I mean, to me, I always saw Manhattan as like a wonderful kind of place to change trains to go to a different part of the city. It
So
was,
like I got over my weirdness about the bus and now I just take the buses everywhere and like
oh,
I
I
absolutely cannot be
love
bothered to take
buses.
the fucking train
Yeah.
into the city to take it to another borough, like get out of town with that,
Oh
you know.
yeah. No, I'm so glad to hear that.
Yeah.
You
I
know what
got
a
over
bus
that
bitch I am.
while I was basically living in Staten Island. I got over that because like
True.
I at one point there was like a car thing. I couldn't use the person's car, so I had to use I don't remember what the bus thing was, but it just made more sense to use the buses and I got over my like weirdness about the buses because of that. So now I take buses everywhere, like daily. I fucking hate
Yeah.
the subway. I have to go underground. Ew, gross.
No, I totally hear you. I totally hear you. And like, I'm back to a city that like bus is the only choice. Although I will say, like New York, I kind of always felt like I absolutely knew what to expect depending upon the bus line, And I rode a lot of different bus lines in New York over the years for commuting to work or whatever. Here in Albuquerque, like I never know what to expect when those fucking doors open.
Really? It's like that
Oh yeah.
crazy?
I
Oh my
mean,
God, that's fun.
yeah. So the public transportation here is free. Um,
Aha.
so it's sometimes like the during the day shelter for homeless who want some like air
Understandable.
conditioning,
Of
you
course,
know.
yeah.
Unfortunately, like, it's also like becomes laden with a lot of people with mental health issues and
Sure.
like it can be like anxiety provoking, you know.
Hmm.
I
Well,
tend to
especially
be
because buses, like, you can't like move to another train. Like,
right.
you basically have to
You're
get off and
trapped in a
wait for
spot with
another
them.
bus if, and then
Yeah.
you have to pay again. And yeah, you're kind of stuck if there's somebody that is giving
Yeah.
you guff, if you will, guff.
So I mean, the one thing that I like about it is like, obviously it doesn't have the same kind of amazing coverage of like New York City or whatever does, but
Sure.
for the most part, if you need to get somewhere, you can take the bus. It just has to be what is your patience level
Sure.
for it taking an hour and 45 minutes to go 8 miles? Like,
Oof.
hey,
Yeah,
truth, like, anyway.
I got
But
you.
the buses like so aren't sexy in that way that I've never gone on the bus and like seen some like what I consider sexy person across from me, like slightly grouping themselves, like giving me the eyes, and like not in a creepy way. I'm talking in that way that like people who are both cruising each other
A
understand that they're
cruising way.
cruising
I
each
know.
other.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
Oh my God, I was recently reading this thing. I think it's like about 1970s lesbian cruising culture in the
Mm.
UK.
Ooh,
Fascinating. Fascinating. I have to find it
interesting.
and send it to you because there's always this discussion. Oh, that's what gay dudes do. They cruise. Women don't cruise. And like,
Well, I'd argue that now women have spaces to go where they don't have to really cruise the
sure,
same way
fair,
because
but
it's
so do
not probably.
so do queer men, and
Yeah,
yet
but
some still
men walk
choose to
around with
cruise.
their dick in their head all day long. Like, flow me. Like, we can split hairs all day, but testosterone specifically.
Yeah,
So maybe not every
fine.
man, so don't come at me with, but if you have testosterone in your body, you may as well implant your penis into your brain. You know what I mean? So, like,
Mhm.
there's not really, I feel like estrogen laden humans can go home and like wait to go to their
Bitch, we
knitting
got
needle
estrogen in
class or
our
whatever
body
the fuck
too.
lesbians meet each other at. I'm kidding. Obviously
I
there are
know.
hornier people and
No,
stuff
no,
like that,
no.
but
And
no,
well,
go
no,
on,
and
go
I
on.
I think it's also like a safety and social construct thing too, right? At
Yeah,
some
yeah.
point, in our culture, women hanging out in dark parks after a certain hour of night probably like was no longer a safe like idea or safe
Well, 'cause the 70s are
concept.
when serial killers became
Right.
noticed and
Summer
known.
Sam, all that shit starts
Yeah,
happening.
Ted
Yeah.
Bundy, all that stuff. So it makes
Yeah.
sense for there to be a downturn in that kind of behavior.
100%.
Well, for different reasons. One, you have spaces you can go safely meet other lesbians
Sure.
at. There's this
Sure.
uptick in that. You don't really have to
Sure.
cruise to get to know who's gay and who's not. You can
Right,
you
right,
can just
right.
go to
Right.
Pottery Barn
Yeah.
or wherever. Where do lesbians hang out? I don't
You
know.
did not say Pottery Barn.
It's okay because if we had a lesbian on the show right now, they'd be like, "Well, where do bisexuals hang out? At the fucking punk rock show?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, exactly.
I
That's where we
love
go.
this.
Thanks."
Oh
So,
my gosh.
Pottery Barn it
I love
is.
stereotypes. Like,
No, if I knew where they hung out, I'd have more in my life. I
well,
don't.
and that's
I
the
feel like every
thing.
time I think I befriend a lesbian, they're like, "No, I'm pan or I'm queer or I'm bi," and I'm like, "Where are lesbians?" I guess I don't go to the lesbian
Well,
store.
I mean, you know what's so interesting about that? Like on one hand, you have like our current political leaders telling us there's only LNG these days. LNG, all the other levels, like
Uh,
there's only normal homosexuals now.
right, right.
And erasing by erasure, trans erasure, all these things happening. And on the other hand, you have the reality of people. I just saw this study that like something like I think it was like 56% of like um queer identifying people like identified as bisexual.
Yeah. No, I
So
know.
it's like they're the largest category,
Yeah.
then like what is all this conversation we're having? And like of course, we like fall back on the idea of like it being a construct. Spent a lot of time like today talking to my therapist just about this like construct problem, and because like people have a hard time like sitting in that space of like gray area and gray space, which we've talked about plenty of times on here, but it makes it hard. It becomes another like weird dividing line in the community where like the binary, which has always been a problem, is still a problem, but it's a problem in new and unusual ways now. Like I just, it's like we can't get past like, I'm like firmly in the space in my life that like you are allowed to define yourself. Your labels like mean what they mean for you, and that's it.
So
Everybody
I
else
am
is,
firmly in a space where I just believe that everybody is one fantasy away from unlocking their queerness,
yeah,
truly.
truth.
Because I don't know how many men I've spoken to that have men that identify as straight and cis that
Yep.
have basically said, well, there's an exception.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah.
fucking the guy that plays Thor or the guy that like there, oh no, I would suck him off. There's an exception.
Yeah.
There's always a
Yeah.
guy, so I'm always like, you're one fantasy, everybody's one
Yeah.
fantasy away from tiptoeing into the middle of something. You know
Well,
what I
and,
mean?
and
Like,
you are
I just
hearing,
don't know anybody that truly has
yeah,
ever proven 100% pure straightness or
yeah,
gayness or any of that. Like, I don't. I know
or
this is
without
polarizing
experiment.
ideology, and I know that I'm going to get a lot of hate for it, but I don't give a
Whatever.
fuck. I don't think anybody is one. I think that they're
Yeah,
in the right space, time, setting, mood, energy, person,
bitch. If
fantasy,
sexuality
world.
is if sexuality is a construct, it applies to fucking heterosexual identifying people
Sure
too.
do.
It's not just queer that's the construct. Sexuality being the
Sure
construct.
do.
Like that's it, and like I met very intelligent people who like know this like intellectually but will not apply it in real time. Be like, well, no, I mean I'm straight. Okay, then you don't believe it's a construct. Don't tell me with your fucking mouth hole that you like understand the concept and you believe it and then tell me but I'm just straight. Those are
Yeah.
two opposing
But also,
ideas.
like, how many lesbians have you gone down on?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Sure. We're
But
all one
again,
fantasy away. And I'm not saying that that makes
right.
your sexuality, but like
100%.
I'm talking about the acts. Fuck
Yeah,
off. Everybody's
literally
one fantasy
literally the
away from doing
opposite.
it.
There was somebody who was catching heat, a black gentleman, I don't remember exactly his name. I think he's semi-famous. He was kind of calling out online and saying that he he doesn't know anybody in his friend circle essentially that hadn't experimented or hadn't like been curious or hadn't like indulged the idea of it.
Of
And
course.
like, I every bit some people are gonna say, oh, that's so brave to say. But like mostly again, it becomes a conversation of it's not about bravery. What do you believe sexuality is? If you believe it's a construct, then motherfucker, it's a construct. And that's not invalidating anybody's labels. What I
Sure.
mean by that is saying if you say lesbian and that means sometimes you suck dick, that's your
I
definition.
agree. Thank you. I
That's
agree.
it. It
I
just kind of
agree.
levels the idea that the labels, I'm not saying they're meaningless. I'm just saying you're allowed to define it. If you're more
Yeah, your
comfortable
label
using
does
that,
not have to define the actions under your label because once again, they're all just
right.
actions.
And it
Like
sure as fuck doesn't have to define
a
me.
man can have the most beautiful feminine energy and
Uh,
it defies your normal take of men and therefore he's an exception. Whatever, it doesn't matter. The point is you're
Whatever,
right.
exactly.
Labels do not have to match actions. And and to me, the actions, everybody's one fantasy away from the action of doing something
Yeah.
they never thought they would. I'm not kidding. I now
No,
stand
no.
by that. And it doesn't, again, it has nothing to do with your label.
100%.
But it
100%.
absolutely, like, I have watched people be like, oh, I thought I was this. Like, I thought. And then I
Right.
did that and I realized I was this,
But
or I realized I just like doing this and I don't want to
right.
identify. I'm like, I don't give a fuck
Yeah.
what you identify as a strawberry. I don't care.
Right.
Like,
Right.
well, I'm
Right.
gonna
So
respect
that's
you
the
the same.
thing.
It doesn't matter to me,
A
you
hundred
know. Well,
percent.
if you identify as a strawberry, I might laugh, but like, I'll still
Yeah,
respect you. I'll just laugh
it's
at you
worth a
too.
giggle. The problem is, or not the problem, that there is no is, right? And I think that's the thing, you know, people like struggle with because it's again the gray area. And like, you have these conversations on like these human psychology like things about like, oh, it's a cognitive limitation that people can't like be okay with there being no category. And I just think it's actually cognitive laziness. It's not
Mm,
a limitation. I know there's no thing indicating that naturally occurring we need to group things and put them in a fucking category.
yeah,
For learning certain things, yes. But
sure.
like this isn't a learning thing. When you learn math and numbers and processes, then that's something, right? You group things to have like a step-by-step understanding of something so you actually can retain it.
Yeah, when we get too worried about labels, it starts to remind me of eugenics and things like that,
No fucking right.
It's
Yeah,
giving why do we need this label? And
exactly.
then in other times it's like, well, labels are important. So,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
example, labels that help you with, things I don't know what I'm trying to say for an example,
No,
but
no,
like
no. Like
sometimes these things are
this is
important, but
hot,
sometimes they
so
are
I don't burn my
absolutely
right. Right. You label something
incredibly different.
hot because it burn you need to know that it's hot because
Sure,
you need to associate it with burning you. Something
sure.
cold, you need to put on a jacket. Right. I think unfortunately we've gotten into a space like somebody has come up with a label for themselves and they understand themselves as such. And then they make this like insane leap that's got to apply to other people or should apply to other people.
Hmm.
It doesn't. It only applies to you, baby. Whoever you are, whatever label you've chosen, however you've chosen to see yourself and your actions and identity within that label, it only fucking applies to you. And
Right.
like nothing has taught me that more than actually like understanding more like trans movement stuff because you talk to so many different people within trans movements and they all have a very not they all have a very but many have different perspectives of what their transness looks like
Sure.
and what it feels like for them and
And what certain things mean to them and which parts of the
exactly
process are necessary versus unnecessary, which, you know what I
absolutely
mean? Again, this is all personal and it's all broken down to each
yeah
person, and we're all queer.
yeah I mean I'm really just trying to get to the point. Do you like to suck dick, like I just want to get like to like some
Yeah.
like more like abstract things or not less abstract things like you can be who you are, what turns you on. And I think it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's it's an important thing, and I know we have a long way to go before like gender becomes less relevant in that conversation. But you know, it's not like impossible for somebody to understand. Like you always hear these like nasty jokes about like two bottoms together. If they can't fuck each other, how are they possibly going to be together? Like I'm just going to apply this to like every gender construct,
Sure.
like idea that you come up with, like because it's not about that, right? It's about so many more things, like our interactions with people and our sexuality and our romance with people, and
Hmm.
fuck that, like thinking the other day like how important it was for me to reach like a poly identity at some point in my life, because for me I do have like this very holistic poly view where like my friends are part of my relationship spectrum, right? That
Yeah, you are just one big lesbian continuum. Like, let's be for real.
amen. Amen. Can I gotta well, and it's like because I was saying this earlier to somebody like you will start a relationship with somebody and whether you realize it or not, like your time spent interacting with like friends or whatever like can often like take a hit or an expectation of a hit. And to me,
Sure.
that's not being really good at being polyamorous, because your love scarcity shouldn't occur. And like, why does somebody new get to take the place of somebody old? You know, it's like something you're trying to, there's no need to take place of, is I guess my point. There's only like additions, and if somebody's negative in your life, subtractions. But it is kind of about like keeping yourself together with like a a kind of family of sorts of your creation, where like your caring for them doesn't cause jealousy, and you're like, you know, whatever. You know, we talk about it a lot, but I'm just really trying, because there's a lot of people like poly is like trending again, and people are like, I have 5 partners, I have 6 partners. It's not a fucking numbers game. This is so stupid. If you're unable to have like meaningful connections with all those partners, they're not your fucking partners.
No,
They're just
right.
people you fuck and probably don't
That
pay
it's
enough
like when
attention
people are like,
to.
"Oh, they're my best friend," and I'm like, "And
Yeah,
when do you
exactly.
like? Do you like? I won't say when do you see or talk to them, because like you could have a very deep friendship and not talk
No, no.
often, but it's more like, okay, and how many other people are you calling your best friend? Oh my, they're my best friend. It's like, okay, you just
Yeah.
named 18 people as your best friend.
Yeah.
You have a bridal party of 22 people. Maybe these people are acquaintances
Yeah.
and not actually your best friends, you know?
Yeah. And
Like
my thing.
if you call any of them to bail you out of jail, who's gonna answer? That's your best
Right.
friend, baby. Sorry.
I
It's
always
true.
say I see it as like you're either in my life, meaning you know what's going on with me and I know what's going on with you, or you're not in my life, you
Mm,
know, and that can apply to any definition of relationship. Like my parents are not in my life, because you could ask them on any given day what I'm doing and they have no fucking idea.
sure.
Where like my friends and lovers know what I'm doing. They
Hmm.
do. Like period, you know, and they're in my life, you know. I mean, and friends come in and out of your lives over time, but like, you know, that's kind of why that poly dimension to relationships I think is important. Like you have to like make an effort to care about people. And if you don't, it's not really a relationship.
Yeah.
You know.
All right, I'll call my friends. Jeez.
Jeez, I know. Papa Aaron is lecturing me. God damn
Well,
it.
I'll say this, like most of my friends that have remained good friends, not most,
Mm,
all of my friends that have remained with me for the like last 1 to 2 decades have been friends
yeah,
that are very comfortable in time apart, whether physical, whether we
yeah,
haven't spoken, whatever. And every time I see them, it's like I saw them yesterday. Like we pick up
yeah,
right where we left off.
yeah.
And I don't
That's the
know if
best.
it's maybe I attract the same type of energy in return, and like those people are cool with it too, or if they just like
Yeah,
alter their expectations and then that works for them with me. I'm not sure. I think most of them are more like me, and like one of them just is like, understands that because of what I do for a living,
sure.
talking all day to other people isn't going to be up on my
Totally.
plate. It's just not. Customer service is tough,
Right.
especially in this aspect where I'm home dealing like with people all day.
Well, and
And I'm just not a big like, what do I have to say on a regular bit? Like what are we updating each other? Give me
but
big
right.
updates, check in
Yeah,
with me for major life stuff. If I see
totally.
I'm watching you online, so I'm seeing what you're up to, and I will
Yeah.
respond to your stories, be like, that looks fun. Hope you had fun. Can I see you
Yeah.
soon? Blah blah blah. But like when it comes to like, I don't need to know the minutia of your life. And I think my friends
No.
are on the same with me.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
they entertain
Yeah.
their friends that want to know the minutia, but I think like with me, they're like, oh, good, I don't have to like update you daily, and like my baby burped on me, and my, like
Yeah.
I don't,
Well,
nobody,
I
you know,
I think that's where like you kind of like you create your friend circles based on like-mindedness, right? Like
yeah,
I don't text a million people a day or any of these things, but
mm-hmm,
like when I talk to them and when I check in with them, like we understand where we're at with each other, you know?
right,
And like,
right,
cause yeah, I wish at this day and age, I could like spend all day making like phone calls to old friends and talking to them
Yeah, of course, that'd be
like we
fun.
used to back in the day, you
Yeah.
know?
And
But
when I'm in the mood for that, I'll do like one
yeah,
phone call.
yeah,
But if you can't understand that, I don't have the space for all of that. And who
exactly.
does? Like, we're all working our
Exactly.
asses off right now.
Exactly.
It's just, I don't
Exactly.
know. But at the same time, I do like my random little text from my needy little friend Erin that's like, I miss you, thinking of you. And I'm sitting there like taking a dick to the butt or whatever, like on cam, and I'm like,
That's what I am. That's what I actually
sweetie.
am. That's what I actually imagine when I send you those messages. Like, bitch, you know I don't need like coddling like that. I
I
will
know.
set. I
Oh,
will set what
blow
I
me. Once in a
send.
while, you need a little snuggle.
Everybody does, baby. Everybody does.
Yeah.
Everybody needs
Not
a
me.
little
Not me.
love
I'm a
hug.
cold-hearted fucking bitch. I don't need a
Bullshit.
snuggle. I
Bullshit.
hate being touched. Ugh. I finally had to, did I say this on the podcast already? I finally had to like tell certain family members, like, I don't like to be touched. Please stop trying to snuggle me and hug me and kiss me on the lips and ew.
Ew.
It's my mom.
Yeah.
Kinda like, but like, and like I'm a little bit more physically affectionate with my sister because we grew up that way, but my mom and
Yeah.
I didn't grow up all snuggle. I don't know. I don't remember that. And if that was how I was when I was little, I don't
Yeah.
remember it beyond like my memory time frame. So it's like, leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah.
She like pinches my butt. I'm like, ew. So I finally like I set boundaries. I was like,
Yeah.
woman. I
Yeah.
understand that my body physically crawled out of yours, but it doesn't give you lifetime permission to
Yeah.
touch me
It's
without
autonomous.
consent,
It's
you know?
autonomous the moment you fucking cut that cord.
Exactly.
Or
But yeah, so
and
I'm a big fan of like meet your friends where they're at, but also like, it's okay to be, oh, I miss you and a little needy here
of
and there, because
course.
that's also shows that like you miss the person on a deeper level, which is nice,
Right. And I think that like especially with the friends that I'm close to, it's my way
Yeah.
of saying it's my way of also acknowledging that like I haven't been messaging anything of substance in a while, but
Right.
like
Yeah.
I'm busy and I understand that you're busy, you know? Like
Exactly. Yeah.
I think it's like the easiest way, like, I'll never ask like how are you if I'm not ready to like respond
Take it.
to it.
Same.
Yeah.
Which is
So-
why I never ask anybody.
Right.
Because I don't have time to start a whole call.
No, for sure. Right. But like, you do
Ugh.
you do on occasion. You be nicer to yourself.
I used
you
to
do.
a lot more when I was on Adderall, I will say. Adderall is like a conversation
You
starter.
can-
Like
you
I just
can
want to
answer a million
talk. So I'm
messages.
like, who wants
Yeah.
to text? Now so that's
Exactly.
probably people probably get confused because I would go from like yapping to like burnout really quick. And now I feel like I'm just myself, like
Which, yeah, perfect way to be. Yeah, and I mean,
Sure.
I think that's it. And we're all navigating, especially those of us who like remember a world of different kinds and different levels of communication. Like this, you do on one level feel, I don't want to say you feel more connected to everybody, but you feel more accessible to everybody and everybody feels more accessible to you. It doesn't necessarily mean connection, but like, when you used to have to wait till somebody got home to listen to their answering machine and decide whether they were going to call you back or not, it was a whole different fucking ball game.
Right,
Like
right,
now
right.
everybody's using that
You had
thing
to like
that you
sit
can
down
tell
to make time. And that's the other thing.
Exactly.
So on the other end, there's those people who like expect responses. And I'm like,
No,
that's
don't-
really cute. And guess
Yeah.
what? That's why I have red receipts on, and you're not gonna get fucking red until I have time. Like if
Yeah,
I don't,
yeah.
so once in a while I'll accidentally open a message and then it diverts my day because I have to now sit down, take in what was said, and then respond to it. And obviously, if it's just like a hey, it's like, but I don't know anybody that texts me
Yeah.
directly, hey, you know what I mean? Like they know
Yeah.
better to get to the point.
Yeah.
Even if the point is just I miss you, like give me something to work with, But like I'll open a message and I'm like, fuck. Like
Yeah,
now I
no,
have, 'cause
I
I'm not
can
a dickhead, and I don't want you to see the
No,
red response
totally.
and then not like, and then think I'm a fucking asshole and like
No, fuck
ignoring
you. I could be like about to wipe my asshole, okay? Like literally, like if I read your message and I don't respond to you, I could be like entering a building, I could be walking and trying to pay attention that I don't get
Sure.
hit by a fucking car.
Sure.
Like,
But
you know,
I also have it's my own people pleasing thing.
no,
So
totally
what I
get it.
do is
Totally get it.
I like to keep people like temper their expectations with you're going to be responded to as soon as I open that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Now I can't
Yeah.
accidentally open anything until I have time.
Yeah. See, I set the expectation
It's
that
my own self that does that. Like
No,
I know
I
nobody on
totally
the
get
other end
that.
is waiting and reading for my red wrist, but
Well,
they're
that's
not
not
like
true. That's
checking.
not fucking true. I can tell, like, from my mother example, I don't know who taught her how to do the red receipts thing, but like now she has it on. And
Oh
so like
God.
she'll send something at like 3:45 in the morning, and like maybe I get up to pee and I look at it, and then I'm not answering it because I'm not waking up on that level, right? I read your message. I'm gonna go back to sleep. I'm not responding to you at 3:45 in the morning, but I can tell she feels like a way about it, like
Yeah.
you can like, and I'm like, I hate these things. Like, and there's not many people I know who feel a way about it, but I have like heard, well, I saw that you read my text. And
Oh
it's like,
God.
cause like
If somebody
what's,
ever said that to me, I'd be like, okay.
yeah.
Not only do you lose the privilege, I'm going to turn off that red receipt for you
I have it
specifically.
off on WhatsApp. Like all you can tell on WhatsApp is if your message actually went through. You can't tell if I've read it because there's like that little like nuance of change in those things. Cause like what are we like surveilling each other now? Like, oh, he read it. Like,
Yeah, like, are we in a fight and you're my partner? Because that's like the
right.
only person that I expect to be like, why didn't you get back to me? Because you're
No
the person I
shit.
communicate with all day. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like that
right,
doesn't,
right, right, right.
that is one thing. And even still, I feel
Totally.
like any reasonable partner would expect time and stuff, like, oh, they're busy.
Yeah.
On the other end, they
Yeah.
would be like, well, he would respond if he could, right? It's just,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like people have this expectation of others that is insane. Like okay, I have a picture of me from the other day
Uh-huh.
uh that my co-star took, Greek Greg.
Uh-huh.
He took a
Uh-huh.
picture of him inside of me because he
Uh-huh.
was filming us fucking while I was editing a video in one hand and I was writing the description to the video in the other hand. That's how much I was multitasking in this
Wait, wait,
one
wait.
moment.
So you had a dick in you and that was being filmed, but simultaneously
I
you
was
were
editing a video and then
okay.
I was writing, like, and that was
This
my
is some fucking
multitasking.
ADD generation shit right
Okay,
there.
okay, but like that's why she ain't texting you back, bro. She busy. Like that's all I can
Yeah.
like think of in my head. It's just like
Yeah. Yeah.
there's a reason here.
Yeah. I mean, and for me, I know what your like lifestyle is right now. So like
Yeah.
I'm always imagine like because it's one thing. It's like the only time I'm really truly 100% unavailable, honestly, is when I'm recording this podcast or if I'm in like a conference call, right?
Sure.
And for the most part, like I can be available, like but those are like hard no's when you're like in a position where you need to talk and you need to pay attention and you need to like be filming something or whatever. It's like and I don't think everybody actually relates to that experience. So I think people sometimes have a hard to understand when I'm like I have like 5 conference calls today. I don't know. You'll get people you can't just talk for 15 minutes real quick.
Yeah, that's
And it's
true.
like no, because when you have that many things, like you have to prepare for some of these things. You're like,
Yeah.
you're trying to like, and you have to catch your breath. So like I
Right.
try to be real. It's like during this block of time, nothing. It's this or this.
Well,
And like
because God forbid you need to like pee in between, you need to eat a sandwich, like Jesus
get
Christ,
that
the
dick sucked
expectation.
or suck a dick,
Yeah,
like shit happens, like
exactly.
I like to be a spontaneous lover too. So like, I'm okay with people imagining that if I didn't get back to you, I'm like doing the nasty right now,
Hell yeah.
That's what's
Yeah.
up.
Well, in between my work, I don't do the nasty because my work is the nasty, but actually that's not
Yeah.
true. The other day I stopped I ended my live and then got fucked. So
Oh, fun. Yeah, you got to
yeah,
do that every once in a while. You
of
got to keep it,
course.
you
Not
got to
I don't
vary it
want
up.
everybody to view every single thing, you know.
No, because then you don't like it's a balance. It's a
Yeah.
balance. And I know we've talked about it before, but like actually the next time we talk, I actually want to talk more about that balance because there's a lot of things I've been seeing a lot of like now that like OF and all these things have been around for so long, you're starting to see more people like have realer conversations about it on podcasts, like how it affects like their personal relationships, like just like all these balances and like just in a I don't have any theories about it. I'm just actually curious because I do think it's like a social phenomenon, not like as a culture we haven't really like addressed before. And I'm seeing more and more people address like we're getting past that like not completely, but like that OnlyFans shaming
Yeah,
situation. And
sure.
we're getting more into there's so many people doing it and not being
It's
ashamed about
mainstream
doing it.
now. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, but that means that there's like a cultural shift and a cultural reality that is very different,
Hmm.
and
And
I'll
there's
just
also a lot of people getting into it that have no business. Like they can't
no, for
they
sure.
can't handle it. They won't
For
be able to. And
sure.
I'm not saying you necessarily know going in. Obviously,
Same.
sometimes you have to just try it out. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's another aspect to it is
But
a
it
lot
is
of people walking away.
infusing it's infusing a lot of dating culture. I definitely see profiles that are like, want to hook up, and if you're down, film.
Mm,
And it's kind of like, and they don't mean it the way they used to mean it, like it's a naughty little fetish. Let's
for
film each other like
yourself. Yeah.
fucking.
They
They
mean
mean
I'm
like
gonna make money
I,
off of you.
they're gonna see it on my Twitter, like the
Right, right.
preview. So yeah, let's have that conversation because like I'm
Sure.
actually, me, I'm not like people would be like, oh, these things are fucking up sexuality and fucking up these things. I think we have to evolve and adapt, and there are things that we have to understand in human beings are like have a lot of capacity for a lot of different things. So
Yeah.
like I'm curious to bang that out. So
Yeah.
I
Of
missed you so much.
course you do.
We're-
I miss you too.
Get ready to move to get ready to move to New Mexico. You couldn't see our faces, but we were all like demure and shit just now. Like it was a sweet moment.
Gay.
Gay.
This
Anyway,
podcast is gay.
this podcast is gay.
Can we just name our podcast this podcast is gay?
I feel like
We'd
we
get more
could have.
listeners.
Hey, we're not doing too bad. We're not doing too shabby. I
I'm
know
just saying, you know.
we never believe it, but then like I look and like it looks like people are listening to us. We had like a lot of Lisbon, Portugal listeners for some reason.
Sweet.
I don't know what about which one of our like metadata keyword tags brings in certain countries. If it's like the slut or like sex pot. I mean, like I hashtag that shit with all sorts of weird shit. So never know.
Just put on current events. Hashtag it with current events. Pretend like we're talking about I don't
The
know, something
news.
that's current but not like terrible.
Oh, this is a great idea. Yeah, we should get into that strategy at some
Yeah.
point when we're allowed to
Just make us
focus more
clickbaity as
attention.
fuck, you know?
Oh, I like it.
They'll
I,
they'll come for the hashtag. They'll stay for my pussy.
I like that.
That's
Yeah.
not true. They won't do that, but that's all right. Yeah. When is this coming out? We don't know.
No, it'll come out like by the weekend, I think. Yeah.
All right. Well, if you're listening to this before SummerSlam, it's the 10-year anniversary of Face Fuck Me Fin Sign, and I'm doing a special SummerSlam topless watch along both nights. So come
Oh,
join. And then
fun.
afterwards, I'm doing a special live fuck show. So if you want to watch me get my guts scrambled on a live show, go to my OnlyFans, Felicia Rose New, and I will be performing after SummerSlam. AKA, you can tip me to watch me do something naughty.
I love it. I have to show up to one of these things. Although, like, I told you I'm always afraid that I won't be able to like keep my mouth shut. Like I'm gonna be like,
Oh, one of our previous guests showed up recently to the
eh?
live and tipped to basically see Greek Greg.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
really?
I loved that. I was like, that's awesome. And they were super
Fascinating.
respectful, like, hey, is this cool to ask? I was like, ask first,
Nice.
we'll see what he's down for. And yeah, they basically
Yeah.
like wanted to see like him fucking me and like his ass and stuff like that. And
Nice.
yeah, I was like, sure
Fuck
thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's so hot. I love it.
It was cool. I was like, I've never had a, a gay individual come into my live and watch for someone else. Like, that's fun.
Yeah.
I love that.
Oh
So,
yeah. And I think yeah, yeah, oh, I'm so excited for our next podcast. We'll have to talk about this bit. Don't let me forget, girl.
I'm yapping a lot. I apologize. So
Oh, you
I
should
haven't
yap.
spoken in days. No, I'm kidding.
I just take dick now. I don't say anything anymore.
All I do is take dick.
That voice. Oh my god.
Cave woman, dick cave woman.
All right.
You
You can chop up the end. That's stupid.
Whatever.
All right. I love you.
I love
Thanks for
you.
tuning in, everybody. If you made it this far,
I love how we always end it like a fucking phone call. Bye. Talk to you
it
later.
was so good chatting with you. Oh my God. Call me back if you need to. Love you.
Love you.
All right. Bye.